Hey, how's it going? My name is Jose Dominguez, and in this video, I'm going to tell you how and why I upgraded this 2012 iMac. So the main reason I got this iMac was to use it as a home server. Now, I wanted a home server just mainly to reduce my reliance on other services like Google Drive or like iCloud Photos or OneDrive or Dropbox. I basically wanted a localized network that only I have access to. So basically, even though I may have work on all my other different devices, as soon as I connect to my local network, I could just back everything up, all the sensitive information, and then just have it on my local network, and it wouldn't be on any other network but mine. So, I mean, I would still use Google Drive and I would still use those other services, but with less, private or less important information. But as more information, is online, I really see the value in having your own localized network. And with Mac and with Mac OS, it's pretty easy to share stuff within a local network, and we can go into it within the settings. Now, I got the iMac used from someone off Facebook. I paid $300 in total for it. I think I got it from a student, I believe. And so I paid $300 in total for it, and the upgrades that I made were for RAM and also for the external storage. And so it started with 8 gigs of internal RAM, and then it had a 1 terabyte, that old spinning hard drive. And then what I bought was, I upgraded that from 8 gigs to 16 gigs of RAM, and then that old 1 terabyte hard drive, I switched it for a 1 terabyte SSD. That 1 terabyte hard drive, I plan on buying an enclosure that I could use as extra storage to basically use it as a backup as well. And I also got a mount. So you see it's mounted. I had to move this stand. So I'm gonna show you guys how I did that shortly. yeah, and without further, delay, let me just show you guys, the teardown and put back together of the iMac. So at this point, I'm going around the edges and I'm removing the glue residue from when I removed the screen. Now, I didn't show that here, but basically you would use that blue guitar pick looking tool to go around the edges and remove the glue. And I'm using basically a duster to remove the dust and residue. And I'm going slowly to remove all of the screws on the motherboard and unpin all of the connectors. Now, in order for us to get to the RAM, we do need to remove the heatsink because the RAM is on the other side of this motherboard. You will see me struggle a bit, but that's basically what needs to be done. So now that we have everything else removed, we can basically clean everything up and install our RAM. now it's time for us to basically put it back together, but just not yet. I do want to mount it, so this is where I remove the stand. So I go on the back and remove the screws on the stand that's attached to the hinge there, and then I just go ahead and, you can't see it there, but I'm basically unscrewing the stand from the rest of the body, and then we're going to continue with the process. Now at the last step, here we go, we're going to install the hard drive. Now at this point, it's just left for me to remove the old glue off of the display and add new glue. I don't show me adding new glue, but I did that. Awesome. Now this is just to show that the hardware all installed correctly. So we can see here that the 16 gigabytes of RAM installed correctly, and when we go into storage, we see our 1 terabyte hard drive. Specifically with the memory, we can see each both 8 gigabyte sticks, and again, this is running the latest version of it's not the latest version, but it's the last version of Catalina, because we can't get the latest version. So yeah, so just to say, this is basically just to show that the hardware installed correctly. We're gonna move on into the next part where I show you kind of how to set up the home server yourself. Yeah, so now we're basically gonna go through the settings within macOS so you can configure the Mac to become your home network. So what we're gonna do is come here up into the system preferences, and we're going to, you can also access the system preferences from all the way up here. Just hit system preferences, but I have it here in the dock. And then what you wanna do is just hit sharing. Now here I'm sharing most things just simply because that's the purpose of this machine. So screen sharing, I can BNC into, I could use VNC to basically connect into this iMac. So if I just have a browser, so I can basically use like an iPad, or I can use like another MacBook, and I can control this iMac. I mean, I can only view the screen. Within remote management, then you'll be able to control the iMac. So share screen is strictly just sharing your screen, and then basically remote management is like you can actually remote into your computer and like control it fully. And then file sharing is exactly what it sounds like. You share the files within your system, and you can control who sees that. I have only one admin, which is myself, but if I wanted to create another user so they can have their own folders and stuff like that, I can, you know, do that if somebody else was using that. Media sharing is exactly what it sounds like. All of the media that I have through my iCloud account would be shared, and I use this primarily with my music. So I have like a music library. I mean, like, this used to be relevant before Spotify or whatever, things like that. But you know, you used to be able to just have your music library, but there's also like mixtapes and stuff that aren't on Spotify. So basically, I have my music library, and then I can share it across all of my devices. So even though it's on the iMac, I can access it on my iPad, I can access it on my phone, and then I can, you know, stream it, you know, like normal. And yeah, that's basically it for that setting. Printer sharing is irrelevant. I don't own a printer, I don't use paper. Remote login, I think I explained that, but basically you can SSH into your iMac. It's pretty cool. I haven't used this yet, but if you need to do that, that's there. Bluetooth sharing, yeah, so basically you can, I think AirDrop, and you know, just share stuff with the iMac via Bluetooth. And I'm just sharing stuff all the time, and everything just goes into the download folder, pretty much. And internet sharing, I don't have that set up. So, and content caching is basically where, let's say you have an update, the update would download to the iMac, and then once you connect to your home network, it would then download to your like iPhone or to your MacBook. And that's really good because then it's not like, you know, always contacting like the main network for something. And it's like you're using less data essentially, because the iMac would essentially have done it for you, or your Mac would have done it for you. So yeah, that's basically the settings for sharing any data or information with your iMac. Now, another thing that you guys would be interested in if you're maybe want to create your own like more personalized server, I can't specifically utilize this on this specific Mac. I'm going to utilize a different approach. However, you could use something called, it is called Mac OS Server. So basically, wrong one. This is a $20 app. It does not have great reviews, so do that with whatever you do with that information is up to you. So basically, let me show you what it does. You can turn your Mac basically into a more serious server, but again, you're managing it through this app. Again, it makes configuring your server a little easier. You can make your IP address static. You can, do a couple other things as well. I am not going to be utilizing this. I'm going to be utilizing something else. Now, like as you see, like Mac OS Server seems like a pretty decent app to configure your Mac to basically be a dedicated server. I guess I can't utilize that because this 2012 iMac cannot get the latest version of Mac OS unless I get like a patched version of Mac OS. Now, I don't want to go that route because I don't want to go the unofficial like software route. However, what I will do, or what I want to do, is basically dual boot this iMac with Ubuntu or like a Linux distribution. So I can manage my server or tweak my server in kind of like a way that best suits whatever I need. Basically, with the Linux server, I can like as a software developer or on someone who works on a software project, I can create a local environment on this iMac and then just like send a request to the iMac or send the request to the server that's on the iMac. And then I don't have to utilize services like Google Cloud or Amazon Web Services if I'm just trying to test out an application. So for me, that's probably where I would use this, and then I still have everything to back up. I can still back up my files, so especially if I partition it correctly and I have Mac OS taking up a decent amount of the hard drive and then Linux taking up a smaller percentage of the hard drive, then I can basically configure it in a way where I can have both like a home server and a development server. So yeah. Now eventually I don't plan on keeping this forever. I probably would upgrade this to maybe like a Mac Mini or something in the future. Because obviously this is the 2012 iMac, it's like almost a decade old, and so it's not gonna last forever. So I will upgrade this in the future, and then I may sell it or something like that. Obviously, I'll sell it with the stand. If you guys hear birds in the back, I'm sorry, I got birds, but neglect that. But yeah, if you guys will be interested in purchasing maybe the iMac in the future, I have a personalized store where I sell all of my like used stuff. Now, all of the stuff works, obviously, but it's been used by me, and then, you know, if you have any questions on any products, then you could always reach out to me, and my contact information is wherever you see it posted. So, yeah, I'll probably just post a link wherever you see links available, and then, yeah. With that being said, if there's anything else that anybody has questions on, or any specific thing that I didn't touch on in the video, then I guess just leave it in a comment or just contact me if you guys have any questions. Hope this was entertaining or informative, and catch you guys later.